Welcome to the Tarrant County Medical Minute podcast.
Hi, my name is Dr. Omar Selod. I'm the 2024 Tarrant County Medical Society president. Welcome to our Tarrant County Medical Society podcast. Today's guest is Linda Kennedy. She's the Tarrant County Medical Society Alliance president. Linda, thank you for joining us today. So what we want to talk about is the Alliance and all the great stuff you do, how you work with the Medical Society. So can you kind of differentiate to our listeners and our viewers, what is the difference between TCMS and the TCMS Alliance?
Well, first off, thanks for having us here. We're really excited about the new podcast and how it's going out into our community. The difference between the Alliance and the Medical Society is the organization that supports the practice of medicine for physicians here in our county. The Alliance, we are spouses of physicians. We are physicians who are married to other physicians, medical students, residents, and our role is to support the family of medicine here in Tarrant County.
Right. Well, okay, so being a physician, I know this. You're married to a wonderful nephrologist. It's stressful. Our jobs are stressful. Being married to us is stressful.
Yes.
There's a stress on the spouse. There's a stress on the children. What are some of the things that you guys are seeing in today's world? Social media, kids, this, that, away from work, on call. What are some of the challenges you guys are seeing, and what kind of stuff are you all doing to help mentor, young spouses to the field of medicine?
That's a great question, because that's actually the focus of our Alliance this year. Aside from all of our lived experiences, we have two members who have been researching this in their professional capacity. So we know from scientific studies that our physician spouses are severely stressed, they are severely burnt out, and there are a lot of things that happen in the hospital, in the office, that we have no control over. They have no control over, and that's why it's causing the stress. Right. But what we can do as families in medicine is to recognize what causes these stress. So some of the things as spouses, well, we found, the long hours. A lot of times when you're a physician spouse and you have children, you're pretty much single parenting.
Yeah.
Lots of relocations.
Yeah.
Having to put our own career on the back burner to our spouse's career. Post-pandemic, there's been a lot of backlash towards physicians and, science-based practice of medicine. Yes. And, seeing that happen to your person that you love so much is really hard. And all of these things, plus what we're learning about how burnout can affect our spouses, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
And then the research is showing us too that at whatever level of burnout our physician partners are experiencing, the spouses experience it to a greater degree. So there's this transference of stress from the physician onto the spouse, and you're a parent.
Right.
And so that trickles down to our kids.
Trickles down to your kids, yeah.
When we have anxiety, our kids have anxiety. When we're have low mood, our kids have low mood. So what we found is that burnout affects the entire family.
Yeah.
So this year, in addition to the things we've always done to support the mental health and physical wellness of families, from our physician family support network to things like our walking group and pickleball group and all kinds of special interest groups that we have that help support people. We've added a new physician family wellness learning series. So we've got experts in the field who are coming in and doing workshops with our members on what are we experiencing, why are we experiencing it, and now what can we do about it.
Yeah.
We just had our first one, and it was great. We had one of our newer members. She's Dr. Sarah Grimmer. She's a clinical psychologist, and she did a study of medical spouses whose partners are still in training. And she shared the results of that. And this next month in October, on the 10th, we have our second one, and we have another clinical psychologist who actually treats exclusively physician families. Is going to come and talk to us about how stress affects the entire family unit and what are some concrete steps that your family can take right now to deal with that.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you know, we know this because we've been involved with medicine, but when you're in training, you're not making a lot of money. You may have insane loans. You then get a new job to a new city. You move to a new town to start your job. You know, us physicians get to meet everybody. We go to work every day, but our spouses or significant others have moved to a new city, and they may not know everybody, and they don't get to socialize in the same way. Like, I'm sitting in the doctor's lounge, I'm having lunch with everybody, I'm in an office, I'm meeting all my colleagues and all that. And, you know, our spouses or significant others don't know a lot of people in town, and how do you navigate that? So that's one thing that I noted with the Alliance when we first moved to town is like, okay, wait, there's this network of people who are going through the things we're going through. You know, we had like 2 kids at the time, toddlers, babies, all that. I mean, that's stressful in and of itself, right? And so, you know, you can find people that understand what you're going through. It's unique what us physicians go through. And so the Alliance provides that family that you might lose when you move. You know, when you're in residency, you form your own family for 3 or 4 years.
Right.
And then boom, it's gone. And all your buddies are gone. Everybody's gone different parts of the country. So I think the Alliance is a great way for our spouses, significant others to connect. And it also takes stress off of us too, right? Because they learn things, they network. I mean, there's a whole other benefit to that. You know, when your spouse becomes friends with somebody else, that may help introduce you to another physician who you might be able to form a good working relationship with that you wouldn't have known otherwise. Like, my wife has met people and their husband might be an orthopedic surgeon. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I work close with the ortho, but I didn't meet them. I met them through her. So there's so many benefits I see to joining the Alliance. And I've been seeing, you guys have been great on social media lately. By the way, they have a great social media presence right now, and I highly recommend everybody to follow it. But you guys are doing so many activities now, and I see all ages of physicians, you know, and spouses being involved. So that's fun to look at.
We had our big kickoff last night for the year, and we had medical students and their spouses through people who've been retired for more than a decade.
Right.
And it's great because, you know, when you've moved to your new place, when you're done with training job, you've left your support system.
Right.
And so I know that for myself, I have this multi-generational group of physician families that have been our, you know, family here. Things, you know, surrogate grandparents and people's children babysat my children. And, you know, there's just this comfort in knowing that you have this whole group, people who've already been through it all, who can mentor you. And then you have all these much younger people, because we're not the young ones anymore.
No.
And they have all this energy to put back into you. That is the best part of being in the Alliance is, you know, you come in, you immediately have people who get it. And you're not alone anymore.
And they can answer your questions like, what's the schooling system here? What school should I put my kid in? What fits best for us? You, having been through it, can answer so many questions.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
And I will tell you that, you know, Ellen Rogers and Marianne Shelton and Marianne Kleiser and Angela Donahue and these women are the ones who told me, like, this is where to put your kids in preschool, and these are all your other school options, and this is what's different about these schools. And it was so helpful because you know, anything you choose for your children is going to be stressful.
Right.
So having these sage people to give you the advice was wonderful.
So our spouses, significant others are dealing with stress. What do you recommend? What are good things they can do to cope with it? Joining the Alliance, exercise, like what all do you guys discuss in your talks that would be beneficial for them?
Well, one thing that we learned from the AMAA's Physician Family Experience Survey is that people who are members of their local alliance report 85% life satisfaction versus much less for medical spouses who are not a member of an alliance. So I'm going to tell you,
that's amazing.
First thing is join your alliance.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But focusing, we have like a list of basics for you to focus on. So, and it's just, a lot of it's the same stuff that you hear all the time. You know, fuel your body with good food, get out in sunlight. There's a saying that the Gen Zs have that's called touch grass, and it's true. Go outside, get in nature, take your shoes off and walk barefoot through the grass. Actually has really good benefits for your body. Taking time to yourself to just recharge and rewind. Reduce screen time, spend time with important people. And this doesn't mean you have to pack your calendar with social things, but you know, quality over quantity is important, and also pay attention to your own mental health. Seeking mental health resources is not a sign of weakness. That's a sign of strength. If any other part of your body is suffering, you go see a physician. Right. Or at least you ask your spouse. But we have a history in our society that if your brain is suffering, you're supposed to just tough it out. Or figure it out. Yeah. But we have really great mental health resources available, and I think it's really important that we utilize those.
Well, us physicians function better, but we rely on you all to help us, right? Like, I mean, I know I can look back on my career of 23 years, and you know, if I want to say it's been successful or fruitful for me, I mean, it is because of my spouse. In all honesty, I mean, she's been the one who held the fort at home. It was stable, dealt with our kids. You know, things that I could spend more time building my practice and career. And I mean, you all are truly, I mean, the word unsung hero, there's no doubt about it, because it's very easy for me to go to work and I get praise. Oh, Dr. Selod, thank you. Oh, you did great. Da, 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 da. And I almost get too much credit and too much praise sometimes. And, you know, sometimes I do feel guilty. My wife's at home and there's no praise to that. You know, she's dealing with the kids when they're little. And I mean, the reward is not the same as what I get, you know. Yeah. But, you know, you all are the unsung heroes, and we need you all healthy. We need you all to be the rock. We need you to have that support. And I would encourage all the young docs, you know, your spouse, significant other getting involved in the Alliance is actually really going to be beneficial for your career down the road here. There's no doubt about it, you know.
Yeah, and really one of the main things that we do as an alliance that not only helps ourselves but helps our community is we have we're involved in a lot of community health initiatives, and we know that when you are helping others, there are lots of mental health benefits for yourself. So that's a big part of what we do as well. Right.
So you know, the Medical Society is about advocacy. 2025 is going to be a legislative year. Can you talk to how the Alliance gets involved with advocacy, First Tuesdays? I mean, what else are you guys doing on that front?
We are going to be providing some trainings for our members who are to understand what advocacy really is, and how we can be a part of that. A lot of people worry that we're going to ask them to, go speak on their own to a legislator and know everything about the legislation that's coming up. But making people aware that really what we do together is we share our stories. We share how the legislation is affecting us as people, and how what's going on in the medical world right now is affecting our families because of the practice of medicine. So that's our piece of the advocacy.
Right.
But we will be at First Tuesdays. First Tuesdays was started by one of our Alliance members, Susan Todd. Last legislative cycle was the 20th anniversary of our First Tuesdays program. And it's just been an amazing success.
Right.
That'll be the first Tuesdays of February, March, and April. March is, or is it January, February, March? But March is traditionally when alliances across the state come together for First Tuesdays, though most of our members who go will be going every single month.
Okay. All right. No, we appreciate it. The more we can get involved, the better. All right. So, aside from that, the Alliance does a lot. For years, you all have been doing a ton in the community. Can you talk about the immunizations and all that you provide for Tarrant County?
Yeah, that's actually one of our biggest programs. We started, along with Tarrant County Public Health, 20 plus years ago, the immunization collaboration of Tarrant County. It's now grown to over 40 local organizations that come together for providing immunizations and providing education and support to our local school nurses. So every summer in August, we put on vaccination clinics for back-to-school vaccinations. This year, over 7,200 people received 21,000 vaccinations.
Yeah.
And they received them at cost. Our Alliance provides money to underwrite some of the clinics themselves, and then we provide over $10,000 to offset the cost of shots.
Yeah.
So, and volunteers, we went and sat at the clinics and filled out paperwork for people, and now we've already transitioned from providing those immunizations to working with our school nurses on educating their school communities on the value of immunizations. Our next big push will be, the fall flu and COVID vaccines, but they also educate on the HPV vaccine, and we provide vaccinations to adults who need them as well.
Right. It's amazing. I've seen for years all that work in the community, and it is truly, truly amazing. And also hard hats for little heads.
Yes, that's another joint project between us and TMAA, and that is providing fitted bicycle helmets to children to prevent brain injuries. We underwrite about $5,000 worth of bike helmets, and we go to area events like bicycle rodeos and safety things, and our members, and we often have medical students and residents help us. We measure little heads and we fit those helmets on there, and it's been a really great program.
Yeah. And so, part of getting to the community, you have to raise money.
We do, because we have quite a few programs. We have the Vaccines Defend What Matters. We have the Hard Hats for Little Heads. We also now have the Texas Book Share, which provides healthcare related books to children. Locally, it's led by Dr. Robert Rogers, who is a member of both the Society and the Alliance. And we have partnered with Cook Children's Neighborhood Clinics, and in the first year, we've given away maybe 500 books. So that's been a really great way to connect with our community.
And you're looking for volunteers for that? Alliance members can get involved?
Alliance members can get involved in all of these projects. We have hard hats year round, and we're doing the book share once in the fall and once in the spring each year right now.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, we also have our joint projects with our medical society. We have an allied health scholarship committee where we provide, alongside with the members of the society, we provide allied health scholarships to students in nursing programs and sonography and x-ray tech and all kinds of technical programs. The joint committee gives away between $35,000 and $45,000 worth of scholarships every year. It's a really great program. And then we also support Project Access Tarrant County.
Right.
We provide funding, and we also provide volunteers.
Right.
So
money, raising money for a lot of these endeavors. The medicine ball
Yes.
is a big fundraiser.
it
that
is.
you
We've
guys
been doing
have.
the medicine ball since 2010, and we love it because it celebrates the practice of medicine. We call it a celebration of the family of medicine. And so it's a gala. This year it's February 22nd. It's going to be at the Worthington Hotel again. And we've already started contacting sponsors to come in and support us, buy tables. We want lots of the residency programs to provide seats for their residents. And we also ask our members to help underwrite medical students and residents as well.
No, it's a fun event. I mean, I will say that it's the one event where you get the most physicians in one room. It's great networking. It's money going for a good cause. Everybody's smiling, happy, away from work. I mean,
it's
it is
so fun.
It
So
is
fun.
well run, smooth. I mean, I love the event. We go every year, and I think it's fantastic. So, everybody get out and support that, please.
Yes, come to the medicine ball.
Come to the medicine ball. Okay, so what other events do you have? Any new member events? Anything coming up on the horizon here?
We generally have about 6 to 8 events every month.
Okay.
Our next event is it's called Warm Mugs for Warm Hugs, and it's just a come and go coffee and breakfast bites while we support our Warm Hugs program, which provides zippered, hooded sweatshirts for kids who are in the Child Development Center for the Center for Transforming Lives. It's a really great program, and we're going to have some people from there to come out and talk to our members. We have a Sweet and Spooky Family Halloween on October 19th. We also, because we are not just female spouses, we have a new special interest group called Men Married to Medicine. And you could be married, it could be any man in the Alliance or the Medical Society who is either married to a physician, or maybe medicine is your spouse, or your one true love.
Yeah.
So we're having a Men Married to Medicine event at Fort Brewery on, I think it's October 10th.
Okay. And so a lot of these, again, can be seen on your social media page, posting,
And our website. We have a really robust website with all that information on there as well.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, what is it y'all don't do? I mean, y'all do everything. And I mean, we're so grateful. The relationship between the Medical Society and the Alliance is absolutely amazing. I mean, like the way they work together, they support each other. I mean, I do think that's what makes Tarrant County unique.
Yeah, it is. We are just spoiled to having a wonderful medical society that we work in synergy with.
Right.
We've learned that that's not the truth in other counties, which is really sad to me. But we're just going to continue to celebrate that, everything we do, our medical society, as an organization and the staff support us. Everything that the society does, we support. We're going to be participating there's a society's Women in Medicine program coming up, and we're going to provide desserts and come in and help out a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate all you do. I think that's all the time we have for today, unfortunately. So everybody, please follow the Alliance on their social media. Join the Alliance if you have not. The same for Tarrant County Medical Society. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter/X. So please follow us. And we hope you enjoyed this podcast and learning about our great Alliance. Thanks for joining us.